Ali Drew for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Robert Garcia here in Vegas for Canelo Triple G, the trilogy. You've got a fighter in action in Bam Rodriguez. I mean, how important is it that this fight week is happening in general, but the fact that you've got Bam onto this undercard?
You know what? It wasn't easy. After Bam's last fight, the first thing I told Eddie after our fight is I said put him on the Canelo card, and he told me no, it's too late now. We already have a full card. But I guess he seen what Jesse was about, and it was very important to put him on this card. And he called me up a few days later, told me he's on. Jesse didn't even want to fight because he wanted to take some time off, take a little vacation. But I told Jesse, look, Jesse, this is the biggest fight, especially for Mexicans, and all the boxing world knows who you are, but just regular fans don't. So 99% of Mexico is going to watch you. The whole world is going to tune in to Canelo's fight, so they're going to get to watch you. So this is the big opportunity. So I convinced them, and now we're here in the co-main event.
Unbelievable. He's co-main event. He's so young still, and he's had an outstanding 2022, sort of a breakout year for him. Just talk to me about how special a fighter he is, and the fact that he's achieving so much so early on and so quickly.
You know what? This kid and his brother Joshua Franco, they were raised very well by their dad and mom, and they have manners. They're very disciplined, very dedicated, very respectful. So that's what makes them so great. That when they come to training camp, they come to take care of business, to do their work and perform. And that's one thing that I love about them. They're two of the most dedicated fighters in my gym. And to have them train with the rest of my guys, that motivates everybody to do better, because the champions are doing it, so they have to do it too.
I mean, people are talking about him, people are wanting to fight him. There's talk of Sonny Edwards wanting him next, providing he gets through his next fight and Sonny Edwards with his mandatory. Is that the type of fights that he's looking for in the coming sort of year or so? Because there are other world champions, they're big names coming through. Is that what he's wanting?
The perfect plan, it's nothing it's not like we've already discussed it with, because we got to take it one fight at a time, and this fight is important to us this Saturday, so we got to take it fight by time. But my perfect plan, I do believe it. I do have to look ahead because I'm his manager also. I do want him to get down to 112. His brother's champion at 115 also, and I want Jesse to leave that division for his brother, because Chocolatito and Gallo Estrada are fighting December 3rd, and his brother, we're very close to finalizing something for him also in December. So it's perfect timing for him to fight the winner, because he is a champion, and if Gallo or Chocolatito, whoever wins, they're gonna want to unify, fight Franco. So we want to leave that open for Franco. That's why I think Bam could get down to 112, and Sonny Edwards is there. He's probably the best in the division, so we want to fight the best. Bam doesn't want to take the easiest one out there. He wants to go out there against the best in the division, and Sonny Edwards is.
Would be a great fight. Away from this week, obviously we know Anthony Joshua is one of your fighters. There's a lot of talk from him at the moment with the Fury fight potentially on the 3rd of December. Have you spoken to him much since his defeat to Usyk?
I haven't spoken to Anthony himself, but I've been in touch with Angel Fernandez and the rest of the management team. Freddie's been in contact with me at least 2 times a week regarding all this talk about him fighting Fury and all this, and we've all accepted it. Everybody accepted it. Me personally, I think Fury at the end is going to say there's not enough time, because we're only a little over 2 months from that fight, so it's a very short notice. I think they might end up saying, we have to move it to next year or maybe later in December. But if it does happen, I'd be more than happy to join their team again, camping in England. But I also advise them, that they should try a camp in California around my fighters, around my world champions, because that would make a big difference also. Any fighter, it doesn't have to be, I'm not just talking Anthony Joshua himself, but Jose Ramirez in my camp, training around Joshua Franco and Jesse Rodriguez and vice versa, they all push each other to a limit, to where, no, come on, you can't give up, let's go, keep going. So I think that would help Anthony a lot, and that's one thing that I advised them. They said they would consider. I would love for that to happen.
Yeah, do you think that Anthony Joshua needs something to change, and maybe an environment might be the key to that?
I 100% believe that's possible. And you know what? One thing that I learned when I was in England is that he started boxing at 18. So he started very late. So, he's already a very natural, talented fighter. 3 years later was an Olympic gold medalist. That's impressive. So with so much that he could do, if he makes that little move and decides to do this, I think he would just be so much better, because he's still learning. Even though he started at 18 and he's already been accomplished so much, gold medalist and two-time heavyweight champion, I think he could still improve so much better, especially if he's around those type of fighters like I'm mentioning.
Do you think that the Fury fight is the right step next? Is that the right fight that's next, or would you advise him to take maybe slightly easier fights than taking on a man like Tyson Fury?
Before I left, we had a good talk with the team in the locker room. After the fight, we had that conversation. But before I left, the day after, I also talked to the management team, and I personally would prefer 2 or 3 fights against top 10, top 15 opponents. Doesn't matter who. 2 or 3 of those, and then go after another big one. It's Fury or a third fight against Usyk. But going in there for my first training camp against somebody like Usyk, it wasn't easy. And even then, I think he improved a lot. I think he did much better than anybody expected. And he was one punch from winning the fight, but things happen in boxing. I would love 2 or 3 fights before anything big, but it's also a business, and it's also a great fight for the UK. It's a fight that both fighters, Anthony and Fury, can walk away from boxing without fighting each other. So does Anthony want to please his crowd and want to do that for his fans? 100%. So it's a possibility that it does happen. Me personally, I would prefer 2 or 3 before that, but I would also prepare. I would also be ready to make it happen in December.
Well, we'll see what actually happens, because it's back and forth all the time. But just a little thought on the main fight this Saturday, Canelo Triple G. It's been a long time in the making. Do you think it's going to live up to expectation, and how do you think it's going to go?
I think it is. I think Triple G, at 40 already, people are thinking he's too old already. But I think the fighters always have that last fight in them. Manny Pacquiao did it. I think Triple G could do the same. He's got that last fight in him, and he's gonna go out there and give it the best. We have a lot of other sports. Soccer. There's 2 of the top teams in Spain. When they play each other, they give it their best. Same thing in Mexico. We have 2 of the top teams in Mexico. One could be having their worst season ever, and the other one could be having their best season ever. But when they play each other, they both give it their best. So I think this is one of those fights where Triple G is going to give it his best, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. I still pick Canelo to win, but it's going to be a great fight.
Well, Robert, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.